All right, guys, welcome back. We are watching ReZero Season 3, Episode 5. Last time, well, a whole bunch of stuff is going on. We got a bunch of confrontations happening with a whole bunch of people, and just too much stuff. There's too many characters, too many things happening. I don't like seeing this guy on my screen. That is for sure. Um, God, I don't. Well, I mean, lots of stuff happened last time. That's how we'll sum it up. Too many things happened. Amelia is captured. Uh, Subaru has found gluttony, except it's not like the same gluttony that like ate Rem. So like I don't know. It's lots of stuff going on. We got lots to do. I suppose that's how we'll sum it up. So I guess let's just get started, right? Let's not delay any further. We're watching season 3, episode 5. You can line your own copy up with this if you want to. We are starting in 3, 2, 1. Right, 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 right. It does more than bewilder, frankly. It's horrifying. Okay. Have you ever made a mistake before in your mind? Of course. He really loves like the rules of civility, huh? You I guess she doesn't even know what that means. Yeah. Okay. Great. Good. Good. Uh-huh. Fantastic. Pure of soul. Oh, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Hmm. 79th wife. Did she hear his name before in the past? Well, she didn't really have a reaction to it, I guess. But again, even if she did, it was so long ago, right? Number 184. Interesting. So he just has like a bunch of like you told her to. Great, good. It's please don't do that. Please don't do that. Please don't at all do that. So he just has a bunch of like slave girls, I guess, right? That's like okay. Yeah, but he only has 78 wives, so how are you number 184? Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. That feels interesting with the way he always acts. Yeah, certainly. Ooh. Little King. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. All that matters is him deciding that she is his wife, right? I wonder, what does that mean though? What's the have something I mean, it's very fitting for like him as a character, right? It's like very related to like greed and all of that, you know. Does it have something to do with his powers? Maybe. Maybe. Because I feel like with Regulus, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. We still have no idea how his powers work at all, you know? And it would not surprise me if there's some kind of catch to it. But I just need to see more, I guess. We need to know how powerful he actually is. He seems just completely invincible, right? Like asserting his will over other people's or something? Does that have something to do with his power? I wonder. Because why would he marry so many women, right? Other than like the crazy, I like sure you can think of like very bad reasons why he would do that, right? He's greedy, right? Sure, sure, but is there some kind of like deeper reason to it, right? Hmm. Because that's what he's always talking about, right? He always talks about like his rights as a person, and he always tries to like trample over the other person in a conversation. So is it about whatever? We'll talk about it later. Oh God, yeah, Subaru, you are not. Wow, all three of them, huh? Subaru needs to remain calm. Ooh, right. The smart. Call him what? Spirit Knight or something? Hmm. But surely this guy knows like Crush's name, right? Hmm. Interesting. Oh. Okay, okay. Nice code name. Oh, wow. God, his leg. Man. Now, why does Chris just keep getting carried around, huh? Oh, yeah, this is where Capella... Okay. Oh, great. What do we do about that? That's... Oh. Oh. Okay, sure. The OP sword, maybe it's strong enough. I mean, that was easy, right? That was good. Seems like she can just regenerate, though. Yeah, we don't want this building to collapse. That would be very bad. Although, was that... I don't know. That dragon certainly wasn't acting like Capella at all, was it? And it's not regenerating, so... I don't know. Ooh, what is that sound? Yeah. Oh! Okay, right! That's not normal. That isn't normal. I really don't like that. I really don't like that at all. Oh, no. Oh, God. Yeah, right. Close the door, please. Is everyone just dead in there? Oh! Okay. This is her, right? It has to be. Yeah. Oh my god. Right. Right. Okay. Right. Right. So then what is that dragon? No. I... Right. Oh, how does Subaru even do that? Oh, okay. Wow. But it didn't... Oh, God. I don't like that at all. Oh, I really do not want Subaru to die right now. Oh. Not quite. Yeah, she's a little meat scrap. No, I don't think so. God. I want to see her interact with Regulus. Oh, God. Oh, I don't like that effect at all. Please don't die, Subaru, please. How is he not dead right now? Oh. Reinhard? Show up and save the day? Maybe? Yeah, she can just, like, shapeshift, I guess, right? I mean, kind of makes sense for representing lust. It's kind of like the Witch of Lust, too, with, like, the whole illusion thing. Oh. I see. I... Oh, God, I don't like that at all. She can transform other people as well. Great. Good. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. But what is the point? Why? She just killed all these people? What's the point? Right? Like, yeah, literally, right? And they were supposed to be, like, for negotiating, right? Like, disgust. I guess the difference between disgust and lust is an interesting... Okay. Okay. Hmm. Oh. He wants to die, huh? I see. If she wants the love of others, this cannot be the best way to do that, right? This cannot be a good way to achieve that. I guess she views everything in that lens too. Oh God. Well, no, but does that have anything to do with anything? I don't think so. I don't think that's the reason at all. Ooh, interesting. Okay. It's like she hates that idea of love. Or maybe doesn't hate it, but doesn't think. Huh. Oh, yeah. Undermining his very love for Amelia, huh? Hmm. But is any of that true? Oh, that face. Ooh, oh. I see. Interesting. Interesting. Oh, God. It's such an interesting attitude she has. Oh, it's great. Very. Is Super really gonna die right now? Oh, but that's so... Yeah. I guess he must, right? Unless someone shows up right now, Beatrice, Reinhard, something, right? Oh, I see. This is how she does that. Okay. Great, great. Dragon blood. Ooh, interesting. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, well, I really don't like that. Whatever that is. I do not like that at all. Who are you? God. Okay. Back here, Super is not dead yet, I suppose, right? Made me think he's not gonna die if we're continuing all of this, right? I mean... Arm-covered freak. So Wilhelm knows who this is, right? It's a suspicion of who this is, right? I mean, if he recognized the blessing, or the divine... Was it a divine protection or divine blessing? Whatever it was. Then he must know who it is, right? That was not Super blowing up. At least, it better not be. Ooh. If they are the only ones who know where the witch's remains are, though, they wouldn't just want to kill them, right? Unless, maybe I'm thinking, well, I don't know. True. A little bit, I suppose. Oh, right. Okay. Oh god, not serious. Okay, what do we do? No one is here. Right. Yeah. They aren't both immediately affected by whatever it is that she does, which is interesting. If you say so. God, her being covered in bandages is so interesting. Really hides herself completely. Oh, these two are here. God, what? Taivi and Hitaro. Okay. They're still injured. Not as badly as Mimi, it seems. Oh, a forbidden method. Okay. Sure. A forbidden method? Oh, God. Oh, I guess. Hmm. Okay, sure. She has a plan, I suppose. Oh, they sure are. Yeah, or triplets, I guess. Hmm. Okay. It's God. I just the problem is the more people there are, the per ability. I don't know. That kind of scares me, right? Ooh. Right. Where is Liliana? Huh? Wonder if we will. Back with Felt and yeah. Okay. Still haven't made a decision, huh? Or well, I guess standing here still kind of is a decision, huh? Interesting. I wonder how often Reinhardt makes his own decisions. Ooh, Oto! Oto! What happened to Oto? God, they look so creepy. Oh, God. Nice. Kill him. Yeah, just like Teresia, as he would say, maybe. God. Okay, sure. Got that dealt with, huh? Hmm. Oh, let's go. How did he get away? How did he get away? Hmm. Indeed. I wouldn't like that either. I would not like that either. God, felt is something. Okay. How did you not die? Yeah, that's like, ooh, the white dragon scales. Hmm. Loser. Like, literally. Hmm. It's interesting that Felt rejects his help so much, and I wonder how he feels about that, right? Because he is someone who is meant to help, you know? At least that's probably how he feels. Okay, okay. I hope he shows up and saves the day with Capella. What is that voice? Oh, wait. We know these two. Who are you again? Who are these two again? We've seen them, haven't we? Or am I crazy? Okay, back to this. Oh, God. Oh, it's flooding. Oh. Oh, okay. Right. Why? Did Capella do this? I mean, I feel like Subaru has to die now. Maybe not, though. I don't know how everyone isn't just gonna die right now, you know? Oh. Oh, God. Is this... Oh, okay. Who... Oh. Who is this dragon? What is this dragon? Oh, God. Can she just turn her body into any shape of anything at all? Oh, has to be dead. How is Subaru not gonna be dead right now? Right? Is Garfield saw him. Was that the end of the episode? Oh my god. What? No way that's the end of the episode. What? Man, come on. Damn it. That, like, I guess. Okay. Is there an after credits? Yes, okay. Thank God. At least I think. That looks like an after credits to me. Okay. That went by so fast. Like, the man. I like this ending a lot. I like this part a lot. I like this shot. Yeah, the shot of him, the shot of Capella in a second with her on, like, the rooftop. Yeah. It's very interesting. Hmm. Ah, man. I got lots of, like, theorizing to do in this episode, I think. Just about stuff. I don't know. Like, Regulus's powers. I'm trying to, like, figure out. It has to be something related to this whole, like, wife thing, right? Okay, what the hell are we doing? Like, hello? It's... yeah. Oh, God, who cares? Oh, did she only flood, like, a little bit of it? To, you know, give us a taste of her... of what she's doing? Uh-huh, uh-huh. So emotionless. Oh. All those people being dead, I assume? Or what? Where even are they? Ooh. Interesting. Okay. Great, great, good, good. Well, I don't want any of those things to happen, so... God. Hmm. Man. Okay. Let's watch the break time. Okay, let's watch the break time. Man, this light on my face at this time of day, it's so annoying. Like, if it annoys you guys having to look at it, it annoys me way more, because it, like, gets in my, like, if it gets in my eye, it's so annoying. Nothing, literally nothing I can do about it though. Like I don't know. Like I could buy some blinds, like more. I have blinds. It just goes through like the hole, right? I don't know. Whatever. Who cares? We'll watch the break time. So let's watch it. What's up, Al? Great waterfalls followers. I see. Ah, right after that, huh? True, I've wondered that too. Hmm. Okay. Go ahead. Okay. Sure. And I literally. Oh, I okay. Maybe is that okay? I guess because he knows all those like idioms. Suppose. Really? Okay, sure, I guess. Okay. I don't know what to do with that information. Okay. What? What? Okay. Right, right, right. Okay. God. Okay, 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 okay. And I guess he could tell that Subaru, like, what? Okay, okay. It's God, yeah, I guess so, huh? I mean, that's like crazy, isn't it? I guess we knew there had to be other people from Japan here because of like the whole stuff, like the architecture here and stuff. Sure. God, like what? Like, huh? Like what? Okay. Jesus. Okay. Right. That's like a crazy thing. That's all right. We'll talk about the episode in the discussion, I guess. Okay, let's talk about the episode. Let's talk about that break time for a second, huh? So Al is also from Earth, from Japan, assumedly, right? Uh, okay. It's like, all right. That's kind of a crazy thing to happen. It's like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do with that information. That's kind of crazy, right? That kind of makes a lot of stuff make sense, right? Like Al calling Subaru brother. Al, yeah, I don't know. What's up with that, right? Why are there a bunch of people coming being isekai'd from Japan into this world? No idea. And I guess the impact of it was kind of lessened by our knowledge that there had to be other people isekai to the world before because of like the architecture and stuff, and all of that they talked about in episode one, right? So I guess the knowledge that Al himself is someone like Subaru, I mean, it's still crazy. Like, what does that mean? Like, why? Right? Like, what? And what does that mean for the people who get isekai'd? For people who are like Subaru who get summoned to this world? Is there anything like special about them? Right? Like the same way Subaru has returned by death. What about Al? What about anyone else who's been brought here? Right? I mean, assumedly not. Assumedly they don't all have some connection with Satella and all of that. Right? That'd be kind of crazy, you know. Um, but what is bringing them to this world? Right? Because it kind of makes me think. I guess it's something I should have thought about back in season three, episode one as well. But it makes me think like I kind of my theory for a while, I guess just what I thought was like probably the case at least, was that Satella Satella summoned Subaru into this world, right? But maybe not, right? Because unless Satella is doing a whole bunch of summoning of a whole bunch of people for some reason, there's no reason to really think it was Satella that brought Subaru here. We know that Subaru has returned by death, right? And So maybe, I mean, maybe it was Satella, and maybe it's just that's just something people can do. Maybe all the witches can just bring people to this world for fun, and they do it all the time, right? Like, I don't know. The Witch of Lust summoned Al here, and Sekbet summoned whoever, like maybe, right? I don't know. It's just it's just like a crazy thing. I feel like we have like no information about it that yeah, I don't know. I don't really know what to think about it. I feel like we've seen so little of Al otherwise, like in the story, that it's hard for me to say what is really up with him, or like what this like means. Al is like an interesting character. He's always seemed kind of maybe not suspicious exactly, but like he's kind of suspicious, right? He always wears the helmet. We've never seen his face. He has this attitude. He's someone like Subaru, who's a knight and one of the people of the royal selection. All of this stuff. Someone who's very much found his place in this world, right? 19 years ago, huh? Do we know anything that happened in the world 19 years ago? I don't really think so, right? I can't really think. I feel like we don't have an exact enough timeline or even anything that I can think of at all that would have happened 19 years ago when Al appeared in the world that like lining up with anything else. I can't really think of anything, right? Um yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what else to say about that. It's crazy. It's insane that's in a break time. I guess I understand why people told me to make sure I watch those for this season, huh? Makes sense to me now, that's for sure. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, I don't know what else I have to say about that. I suppose it's crazy. All right, sure. Sir Regulus and Amelia, huh? Sir Regulus is terrifying. Let me make sure I have my right subs on. Okay. Regulus is terrifying. Um, I don't know what to think about him. He's asking Amelia if she's a virgin, which is like horrifying and terrible, right? And he's really excited and happy when she doesn't even know what that means, right? When she, he said, like, what does he say? He says that she's completely pure, that she's the embodiment of an ideal maiden. All of this stuff, right? I wonder why, right? Like, obviously, you could just go down the dark route of saying, that's what he wants in a wife, right? He's like a horrible person and all that kind of stuff, right? Sure. But I'm just wondering if there's some kind of like deeper thing to it. Like why, right? Does he need her to be a virgin for some reason, right? Like obviously there's kind of like what I was thinking about his power is like because we he has 79, 78, 79 with Amelia now wives, right? It's like he's asserting his will over all these people. That's what it makes me think of. The way that number 184 in a second, right? Like they're boiled down to just their number. And also how is there a 184 if only has 78 wives? Does he have a bunch that he just hasn't married officially? Maybe he just can't find the time for it. Um it's like they only have a number, right? She literally doesn't have a name. She's just number 184. And she says to Amelia that because Regulus's will is the only thing that matters. That he has decided that that Amelia is now married to him, and that's it, and that's all that matters, right? I wonder if that has something to do with his power, right? Maybe it's like here's my idea, I guess, is like if Regulus feels superior to you, then what? He's like invincible. He can't be touched. He can't, like that's how his power works. Something like that, right? Because in conversations with other people, he always talks down to other people so much. He like asserts himself so much, right? He asserts his will over other people so much, right? It really makes me think that it's something like that, right? That as long as he thinks he's like better than you in some way, right? Because he always like acts like other people are such losers, right? Then what? He's just invincible and he can snap his fingers and kill you instantly? I guess, right? Maybe. How do we beat that though? Well, makes me think about Reinhard, because Reinhard is the most powerful thing like ever, seemingly, right? Would it be possible for Regulus to see himself as more powerful than Reinhard? Maybe, maybe not. Is that what his power even is? Is that what it really means? Maybe, but then like how does that even connect to like the wife thing? You know what I mean? Like if all it is that he has to see himself as more powerful than you, he has to like assert his will over yours or whatever, then What does that have to do with him marrying a bunch of people, you know? I don't know. I don't know what that means, right? Um, hmm. I don't know. I don't know. Let's read more of the conversation here. Um, Asking that out of the blue must have bewildered you. I must sincerely apologize. Not like there's lowlifes who can't own up to their mistakes. But it's like when he says things like this that kind of makes me second guess my whole idea. Because even though he is so ridiculous, he's so transparently insane, and the way he acts is crazy, right? The things he says and the way he acts are insane. And he does it under this guise of like civility, right? He he tries to really justify his feelings and his actions and like the way he's talking to other people by like justifying it all in this way of like, oh, like it's with the basic laws of decorum and all. You know what I mean? um and that's pretty different, isn't it? That's pretty different than him like thinking he's better than other people. If anything, he just doesn't want other people to look down on him. So maybe that's the important thing for his power, right? Is maybe it's more so than, well, maybe, right? Maybe that it's like if someone looks down on him, then he's like powerless against them. I don't know. I don't know. And that's why he feels the need to like justify all of his actions so much, right? He goes on a paragraph long ramble every time he does anything. You know what I mean? Like every time before he snaps his fingers and kills you instantly, he goes on a paragraph long ramble about how he's completely justified in doing this because you're infringing upon his basic God-given rights, and it's completely fine for him to be angry, and blah 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 blah, and then he kills you, right? Why? Right? Like why? I don't know. I don't know. Right? Why is this idea of civility and decorum and all of that? Why is it so important to him? Right? It's important to be able to apologize sincerely. There are far too many people in this world who don't understand what should be so obvious. You are truly a magnificent woman. God. She doesn't even know what it means to be a virgin, of course, right? And that really makes him happy. That's great. That's really good. My name is Regulus Corneus. I'm your dear husband, and you are my precious 79th wife. So they're already married, right? Like in his mind, they're already married, basically, right? That's what he says. He's already her husband, and she's already his wife, right? And apparently that's all that matters, right? What does that mean? Like, how does that? It has to have something to do with his powers, right? So I feel like I'm just going down the wrong path here if I'm thinking about all of this in terms of like the way other people view him, the way he views other people. How does any of that connect to this whole like wife thing, right? Um, I guess my other idea is just like the more people he has like under his like control in some way, right? The more people he has that he like asserts his will over, the more powerful he is or something, right? And all of his wives are like that, I guess, right? All of them, he's like trampled over them, and they're just numbers to him, and they're just one of his 79 wives, right? And that gives him power in some way. He gets stronger with each new one he gets. Maybe, right? I guess. Yes. I feel like I want it to be something more closely connected to the idea of greed, but I don't really know how to do that, other than just saying it's pretty greedy to want 79 wives, I guess, right? Like that's a pretty right? Like I guess if you're thinking about it from the perspective like, like the whole thing about like Subaru being greedy for the future and that kind of thing, right? Which in that case is like not a bad thing in my mind, right? It certainly isn't a bad thing to want the best future like possible, right? For yourself and the people you care about. What Regulus is doing, well, like, does it make any sense to have 79 wives? Like, no, it doesn't, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? Like, if Subaru said, oh, the best future for me would be having 100 clones of Amelia that are all my wife, like, that's just crazy, right? Like, so maybe it's possible to go too far. Maybe it is possible to be too greedy about the future in some way, to be too greedy about your life, I guess, right? If you become like Regulus and you have 79 wives, right? Because that's just insane and like impossible. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, you can't, like, right? I guess so. It kind of feels related to that to me, I suppose, right? Let's get you a change of clothes. Right, here's number 184, change number 79's clothes. Does he even ask her name? He doesn't, right? He just introduces himself and says, you're my wife, and I'm your husband, Regulus Corneus. She doesn't recognize his name. I don't remember if she was there when he told them his name. I don't think so, right? Because when he first shows up, um, to attack Petalgeese and Fortuna, he like gets really mad that they didn't ask for his name, right? So I kind of don't think Amelia was there when he introduced himself. But even if she was, again, it was 100 years ago, and it's like has to be all this weird, like fuzzy, like memory stuff, right? So it doesn't really surprise me that much. Yeah. So here we see number 184, and she seems in a great mood, right? She just seems completely like emotionally dead. And yeah, you've stopped smiling just like I told you to, right? It's like he views them as just objects, just as numbers, and they aren't allowed to show any emotion. They aren't allowed to be their own people at all, right? It's like he's stolen their like humanity, their individuality, right? Oh God, it's just horrifying, man. I'm trying to think how that like is there some way to relate that to like the broader themes of the season so far. And again, it's kind of like what I said last time, which it reminds me of Amelia and the way that Amelia kind of was like before season 2, how it felt like she was so unable to assert her own will over other people, or like she was always so worried about this whole idea of like debt, like viewing relationships in this transactional way, being protected by others all the time, all of that kind of stuff, right? She was so like unable to assert like her own like will and what she wanted in all of this, right? Like the way Subaru acted with her, like early on in season 1, with like the whole, just the whole time, the whole way Subaru's acting early on in season 1, right? Like specifically, like early on, like the third arc, right? It's just like all that kind of stuff, right? So what are we achieving with this then? What are we doing here, right? We're putting Amelia in a situation where it's almost like that's really being like highlighted for us, right? I guess for me, just what it makes me think of is how different Amelia is now than it makes me think about if season 1 Amelia had been in this situation, what it could be like, right? I guess I'm not too worried. I'm not worried about Amelia like letting this happen to her or something, right? I don't think that's gonna happen. I hope she has the willpower to fight against this in some way, right? I guess we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see where it goes, I suppose. I'm number 184, one of his wives like you. In his mind, you're already his wife, and the fact that he's decided you're his wife means that how you feel is irrelevant. Yeah, yeah. It feels so contradictory with his like whole thing about um people's feelings and like other people not trampling on on his rights and all of this and blah 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 blah, right? For him to do that to other people so much, right? I mean, obviously he's an insane lunatic asshole dumbass, right? So like I guess it makes sense. Like it's not surprising he's like hypocritical, I guess, right? But it feels like connected, right? He reminds me of an evil king I once saw in a book. A fitting description. He is indeed a king in his own rights. Certainly worthy of the title Little King. That is interesting. Little King, huh? That line too just makes you really think it has to be connected to his powers, right? Like he has to be seen as like a king by a bunch of people or something, right? Like there have to be the more people that see him as someone who like controls them and he has like this complete power authority over them, the more powerful he is, maybe, right? Something like that. Something like that. Anyway, back to this. Subaru and Krush and Julius fighting against Gluttony here. Roy, right? One of the Gluttonies, I guess. We gotta all hide our names. Surely Roy knows Krush's name, though, right? Like, she's one of the royal selection candidates. Surely that's like pretty obvious, common information, right? I don't know. I don't know. You would think he would know Subaru too, then, right? Because like Subaru is pretty well known for like all the stuff that happened with the White Whale and his previous run-ins with the Witch's Cult, all of that, right? I don't know. I don't know. Don't you have a grudge against us? There's no meal more satisfying than an opponent ordained by fate. Interesting. Let us indulge in it. Absolute gluttony. An opponent ordained by fate. It's not really ordained by fate in any way, though, is it? He's mad. He has this grudge against Gluttony, right? Because of what they did to Rem, right? I don't see how that is in any way ordained by fate, unless they're saying their own actions decide fate. Which I guess you could say, like in a sense, I don't really believe in fate, right? I guess that you could, if you want to say that fate is just cause and effect, then like sure, I guess, right? I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. So we run off. I mean, Subaru doesn't let his, like, anger and rage overcome him and throw himself at Gluttony forever, which is, like, good, right? I'm very happy about that. So different than, like, the start of Season 2 when he killed himself instantly upon learning what happened to him, you know? Like, imagine that Subaru being in this situation, you know? So here we are. We meet up with Capella. Here's this dragon. Who is this dragon, right? So Capella turned someone into this dragon, right? Who, right? I feel like it has to be someone that we know, someone significant in some way, someone who was captured by her, right? But who would it be? Um, I don't know. What was that little boy? What was that boy's name? But no, he got out, right? He's fine. It wouldn't have been him. I don't know. I don't know. Currently, she is shapeshifted as this little girl just to. What was the point of all of this? Just to troll them for fun? She just thought it was, like, funny? Like, it's like. I don't know. Right? Like, what is the situation? I actually just don't understand. The more I think about this, the less this makes sense to me. So she turns someone into this dragon, right? And she shapeshifted in this little girl and is sent over in this corner, right? This dragon doesn't like her because this is just some random person that she turned into a dragon. Why does the dragon, whoever this is, not know that that's her sitting in the corner over there? I don't know. How did this come to be like this? I really couldn't tell you. But yeah, we rescue the little girl. Oh boy. And okay, so Capella, Lust, has a very interesting attitude about love and lust and disgust, right? Lust and disgust. Those rhyme, don't they? Are kind of opposites, right? She has this idea, all the stuff that she says to Subaru in a moment, about I almost said that it feels like she dismisses this idea of love, or that she feels scorn towards love, but I don't think that's it. I think she actually has a very high opinion, maybe, of the idea of love, and she just thinks it's very different than lust, right? She thinks if you feel lustful feelings towards someone at all, some kind of, like, sexual attraction at all, then that is completely different than love. And if you really loved someone, right, then you would love them if they were a blob on the ground, if they were a fly, right, if they were something disgusting, then you'd be able to love them anyway, right? It feels like it comes from maybe this place of her thinking that people feeling lust is something that gets in the way of love, right? That it's like a completely different thing, right? She says all of these things that either one, she looks into Super's mind somehow to be able to understand how he feels about Amelia, or just things that she assumes Subaru feels about Amelia, something like that, right? And she says them all kind of scornfully. She says they're all like excuses, right? They're all excuses that Subaru tells himself for why he loves Amelia. When really it's not like that, right? That it's I guess you could say it's just lust, right? That's what she's saying it is. Not that I actually think that at all, right? But I guess you could say that's just all that she's saying it is. But I wonder what kind of love would, like, cross that line for her, right? Does she think it's possible to love another person? Let's get back to that conversation and let's see, huh? So she turned everyone into flies. That's really good. I really hate this scene. I really don't like. I really don't like this. The noise, the sound, the just. I can we fix them? Can they not be flies, please? Can we not do that? I really don't like that. I really don't like them being flies. Um, I don't think I could love someone if they were a giant fly. Is that okay? Is that okay for me to say? Is that all right? I don't if someone I really loved turned into a giant fly, well, I I guess it really depends. I guess it really depends, right? Like, okay, if my mom turned into a giant fly, right? I guess I wouldn't hate her, right? Of course I wouldn't hate her, right? I would want to do everything I could to, I guess, try and turn her back into a person, right? But I guess what would Capella say to that? She would say, "Oh, why does she have to be a person for you to love her?" Right? Obviously, that's different than, like, romantic love, right? It's like familial love, right? But I think it's kind of in the same avenue in my mind, right? Um, like, yeah, I guess if my mom turned into a giant fly, I would still love her. I would still very much care about her, right? Even though she's a giant fly, right? But maybe because that's on a completely different side of the spectrum than, like, romantic love. maybe that is different. Maybe it's romantic love specifically that Capella is talking about. Hmm. I guess I just feel like it's kind of a flawed thing that she's talking about, right? Yeah, I don't think it's anything surprising that it would be hard to like be romantically involved with someone if they were a giant fly. Right? Like, you know what I mean? Um it's interesting that it feels like her attitude about that comes from, like, almost like a place of insecurity, you know? That's kind of how I imagine those kinds of feelings would come about in a person, right? That she feels like maybe people like, what, only love her? Well, no, because she says she wants as many people to love her as much as possible, but love her in what way? Just feel lust towards her, right? Because she can transform into whatever they wanna see, I guess, right? But then does that not feel like real love, you know? Like, it makes me think of, like, this insecurity, I guess, that you could easily fall into, that people around you don't actually, you know, that someone you're, like, romantically involved with, I guess, right, doesn't actually care about you, right? Or whatever you think is you, important about you, right? And they just feel, like, these other feelings, like lust and, like, you know, that kind of stuff, right? But I guess it just depends. It just depends, like, what her actual attitude about it is. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I'll just have to read what she said again, right? Everyone's a fly. I really hope we can fix that. I really hope we can fix that. I really hope we can fix that. God, her attitude. Why are you guys such simpletons? Did you think I was a brave, fragile little hostage girl? It's like in that too, in this moment too, right? Her shape shifting into this little girl who was like so pitiful and weak in the corner, tied up, all of this, right? And then they come and save her, right? She views it in like this very scornful way, right? She laughs at them, says they're stupid, idiot, simpleton, dumbasses, right? Um, so like that's kind of in the same vein to me, right? Where she fooled them, she deceived them with her appearance, right? She just appears to be this little girl who needs saving, when really she's evil and crazy and wants to kill them, right? And it's like she feels like the fact that that happened. She feels like the fact that they like fell for it. Like what? Like it says something to her, I guess, right? Like she's like rubbing it in their face, right? But then it's just what's her point, right? Just what is she? What is her point in doing that? You know, it's just this whole idea about appearances like being deceiving, I guess, right? Or just there's a lot more than appearance to people, right? But it's not like appearance isn't a factor in any way, right? You know what I mean? Like God, like, that's what I mean when I say it almost feels like for her it has to come from some kind of weird place of insecurity, right? The fact that she can shapeshift is very interesting, you know? Because assumedly, she was alive before all of this, right? She didn't have the ability to shapeshift before, and she got the ability to shapeshift, right? That certainly says something about her, I feel like, right? It must. I don't know. I don't know. Ta-da. I I don't know how to feel about her. She's very interested. You infatuate, yeah, infatuation. I guess that's lust, infatuation, that kind of thing, right? Infatuation has like this negative connotation to it, doesn't it? It seems like less serious, right? Like if you're infatuated with someone, it's like has the vibe of like, um you're like under a spell almost, like you're not seeing things clearly, right? If you're infatuated with someone, right? Maybe you're not seeing like the negative parts of them in some way, that kind of thing. Hmm. And I whips a rock at her, which is like insane. His practice really paid off, huh? God, like what? I don't like that. I really don't like that at all. What kind of face is that? Has my beauty left you speechless? God. She is not a dragon who takes on human form. And there it is, a blatant display of a moron's irrationality. And she views herself so superior as everyone else, right? That's where I said it would be interesting to see her and Regulus interact, right? Because I feel like they're kind of similar in that way? Um, I don't know. Why do you think she views herself so superior? Or why do you think she views everyone else so stupid? I guess maybe not by default, but just she tricks them with the shapeshifting, and then she thinks that really is like very meaningful, and that means you're an idiot, an irrational moron, right? I guess. I hate some of these effects really creep me out. Like this, when these wings pop out of her back. Oh god. Oh god. She fucks Subaru up, unfortunately. Capella Emerata Lagunica can even transform into your ideal girl. She does this horrifying transformation. Just yeah, it's terrible. Oh god. Yeah, she turned all the people into flies, turned them into a lizard, a dragon. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And yeah, like why would she do like literally what's the point, right? Like those are supposed to be like the bargaining chips, right? That's supposed to be what they bargain with to get the witch's body, right? It's like what are we doing, right? I guess just destroying the whole city is bargaining chips enough, right? But then why even have the hostages in the first place, right? Just to troll Subaru and be like, ha ha ha, I turned them on the flies? It's, I guess that'd be fun. I don't know. You find it disgusting. It's blood curdling. Hmm. They're so disgusting and repulsive, you can't help but detest them. And that's precisely it. Looking at them disgusts you on a visceral level. It's only natural. No one could love creatures like this. Like this is the kind of line that makes me think about where what she's saying comes from like within her, you know? Like such an interesting thing for her to say, right? And Subaru wants to be killed, but she would never do that. Of course, she wants people to love her, right? I want as many as possible for as long as possible, as deeply as possible. I wonder if because she's a shapeshifter, well, I don't know. She wants people to love her, but she also scorns this idea of love because it's based on like people's appearances, right? She is a shapeshifter, so she can change her appearance to anything, right? She can change her appearance into something that someone will love because they like the appearance that she puts on. Um, but isn't she scorning that idea too? You know what I mean? Like, isn't then if she transforms into something that you love, isn't that just, then where's the meaning in it, right? From her perspective. Hmm. All I'm asking for, huh? You guys end up drooling over that female meat because you want her so bad. That's just really not it at all. She's just really wrong, right? It's feeling lewd thoughts for a second doesn't make the entire relationship like not count and disingenuous. You know what I mean? Like not at all. I don't view it like that at all. But why does she? Right? That's the question, right? Don't you dare take that shameful carnal desire dressed up so casually with a word like love, right? Like yeah, like this line definitely shows that love to her is very meaningful, and she scorns that idea of lust, right? That lust is something that is very, she thinks it's shameful carnal desires, right? But it's also just based off like appearance like that. So I just don't understand how she expects to get that kind of love that she wants, not at all based on appearance or carnal desire like that, the way that she is, you know? I don't know. I don't know. Hmm. And yeah, she turns into Amelia and says all this, yeah, says all these, the same typical predictable arguments. Says all these things, right? Not specifically, yeah, it's not specifically things that Subaru like thinks about Amelia, but it also kind of is because she just kind of says a whole bunch of like very broad, like like things that people say about like their loved ones, right? That she thinks are all just like excuses, right? And what's weird is I agree with her in a way that I think people try and rationalize their feelings for others, with like things like this when I think like your own feelings about other people are something so complicated, something that's so hard to like come up with a reason for, right? What it reminds me of in Monogatari is when Skihi and Araragi were talking about love in Nekomonogatari Kuro. But I, I beyond the point, right? That's a different show. um, it's this idea that it's like you can try and come up with all these reasons for why you love another person, but you never really know if that's why, right? It's kind of like beyond you to be able to describe your own feelings and say, it's almost like they're excuses, and she certainly thinks of it like that. But she thinks that like undermines the love entirely if you don't, it's like those excuses, that idea that you don't understand the love itself is in some way hurts it, right? That your love isn't meaningful, And I wonder how much that gets to Subaru. Like, what does he think about all of that, right? About what she says about his feelings for Amelia, I don't know. I wonder. I wonder. Hmm. I'm gonna read that one. Because, though my life's been full of lies, this feeling is the only thing I have that's real. Like that line especially, right? And then the way her face afterwards. Just a bunch of lip service. If you think love will keep you two together, see if you can still love her when she turns into a fly. Well, that's very interesting to me because I feel like if Amelia turned into a fly, Subaru would still love her, right? In some way, right? If Amelia was still there, right? Like if she just turned into a fly and Amelia was gone, right? Like what makes Amelia Amelia? Like her brain, her thoughts, her personality, all of that is just gone completely. She's not in there at all anymore. Then Amelia's just dead, right? It's not Amelia at all anymore, right? It's not you're not even turning her into a fly at that point. You're just killing her, right? So of course he wouldn't love her anymore because she'd just be dead, right? What makes Amelia Amelia, you know? Hmm. I guess it just depends how that works, right? I don't know. I don't know. It's disgusting after all. You said that very clearly yourself, you shithead. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She rips off his leg, and he's bleeding to death. I feel like he's gonna die. I don't know how he's gonna not die, but I kind of feel like he also won't. So, she pours her dragon blood on Krush and Subaru as well, maybe, right? Or just Krush? I don't know. Just Krush, I guess. What's gonna happen to her? No, and Subaru. Yeah, no, because that's horrible, horrifying shit happens. Um, what's gonna happen with that, right? What is all of this about her having dragon blood? I don't know. Makes you think about like the dragon, right? Like the dragon. Um, and like the potential relationship she has with like the royal family and all of that. I don't know, right? Just those are certainly very related topics in my mind. I just don't know what to like think about it, you know? The dragon attacks her, finally. And we're back here. Wilhelm, Ricardo, Garfield fighting these two, of course. Hmm. I wonder who it is. I wonder who it is that Wilhelm knows that the woman is, you know? No more hints about it in this episode. So I guess we talked about it last time, right? Not really anything new to say about it, I suppose. Other than it probably being an Astria of some sort, right? That's the only thing I can think, you know. Anyway, we're here with Anastasia and Kiritaka talking about everything that's going on, right? So the Council of Ten, I don't see why the Witch's Court would kill them all, because those are the only people who know who the Witch's remains are, right? So can we use that in some way, right? Like they probably don't want to kill this guy, because if they killed him, well, I mean, Sirius shows up like in a second to kidnap him. I assume, right? I assume the goal isn't just to kill him, because then how are they ever going to find the Witch's remains if that's the goal, right? If the goal is to get to the Witch's remains, sure. If the goal is to well, I don't know. I don't know because Capella said that specifically, right? That she wants the witch's remains, right? I was gonna say the goal could be to kill everyone who knows where they are to keep them buried forever, but I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it at all, right? So Sirius shows up, and I don't know, what are we gonna do? Well, Tybee and Hitaro show up. Thank God, because Ferris used a forbidden technique, a forbidden method to heal Mimi, so it healed them both as well. Very nice, very nice. Our sister told us to keep you safe, no matter how much it hurt us. God, that's a heavy burden, huh? For her to have. But she thinks it's something. We need 2 minutes, apparently. And Sirius enjoys their love, huh? I wonder what she thinks about twins, right? It's like the idea that twins can understand each other more. So I wonder how Sirius feels about that, because that's kind of what love is to her, right? We got a whole bunch of people here. Kind of scares me though, because the more people there are, the scarier Sirius's powers feel, you know? So I don't know. I don't know. God, the city of Fristella is in Anastasia's hands, which is, yeah. Okay, back here to Felt and Reinhard. The only other stuff, because we talked about Reinhard a lot in the last discussion. The only other stuff I really want to say about him, I feel like, is I wonder how he feels about, like, responsibility. Because it's interesting how Felt rejects him helping her. And I wonder how he feels about that, right? Because I bet when people are like his buddy, when people are his friend, when people like know him in any way, they probably end up relying on him a lot, right? Because he can do anything, right? Because he seems so infinitely powerful, like he can do anything, right? So what does it feel like to have a relationship with someone like Felt who doesn't rely on him like that, who rejects relying on him like that, you know? I don't know. We know so little about how Reinhard feels about any of that himself, right? I guess just logically, I can just say I doubt he likes it that much, right? Or if he even understands his own feelings well enough to like understand that, right? Because he's been the Sword Saint for a long time. It's kind of like all he knows, right? I imagine on some way he must not like it probably that there's that it feels like there's no one he can rely on, right? That everyone relies on him in some way, so it probably feels good to have Felt around for him, right? Hmm. And yeah, and he hasn't made a decision, right? That's the other interesting thing is he's still standing here. He hasn't ran off, right? He's kind of making the decision to stay by not having ran off. Yeah, because Felt was telling him to. Anyway, Otto shows up. Thank God he's okay. We knew he would be. Maybe Otto, right? All the people that turned into flies. Maybe Otto can. What would Otto possibly do? He can talk to him, I guess. I don't know. It felt the smacks him over the head with a wine bottle. Deserved, frankly, right? Let's be real. God, I love Otto so much. I would have felt less impending death with a sword thrust at my face. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. So he escaped. Thank God. Thank God. So I wonder if Reinhard. Well, I don't know. What is Reinhard? What can Reinhard do? Right. This is because we're kind of back to that idea that I don't know what Reinhard can even do about a lot of the stuff that's going on. Right. I don't think he can stop the city from flooding. Right. Like that's. I don't know. Maybe he can. Right. There's so many things going on that I wonder. Right. But Felt pushes him. Felt pushes him to get out there and help the situation. Right. Yeah. Yeah. Which is interesting. I wonder, it's like I think she wants him to be able to make his own decisions, right? To be able to make his own choices with his own power, right? That's right. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. And then these two show up. Where the hell do we know these two get from again? Were they in like the first arc? Were these the two? Were these two with God, what's his name? The guy with the weird colored hair, the toothpaste looking hair that's like blue and pink. That guy, right? Were these the other two people that were with him? Maybe it was, because I feel like I remember Subaru kicking this little guy, right? So maybe that's them. Maybe that's what they're from. Okay, okay. The city starts flooding. So that's great. That's really good. I guess Capella's just giving a taste of what she's doing here, which is just fantastic, right? Awesome, amazing, great. Fantastic. Dark waters. Subaru falls into the water and starts dying. So, how is he not gonna die? I don't know. I really don't know. Like, what do we do? I don't know. At least everyone pretty much evacuated, right? I don't know where they're at, but I don't know. I don't know. You're hearing the beautiful voice of Sen Archbishop of Lust, Capella Chan Sama. So even after all I said to them, a whole bunch of meat scraps still busted in here after me. They wounded me, and now I have 3 more demands in addition to the witch's remains. Great. The Tome of Wisdom, which someone apparently brought into the city. Someone brought a Tome of Wisdom into the city. What are we talking about? When? Who? What? When? How? Huh? Beatrice's is gone. Rosewall isn't here. What are we talking about? I don't know. Who would have a Tome of Wisdom? Uh, Artificial Spirit, Beatrice, and she wants the wedding between Amelia and yeah, and Regulus. Which like why? Why does she want that? Why does she want any of those things? I don't know. I really don't know. But I guess we'll have an answer in the future because that, I suppose, is it for this episode. So, yeah, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you think, and I will see you in the next one.